Welcome back, all my loyal patriots of Ireland and abroad. Today we have another News Talk reaction. Of course, just when you thought that News Talk couldn't get any more hate, couldn't get worse with their opinions, today we have a video labeled, "Should 25-year-olds adjust their housing expectations?" Oh my god, again, another insane video. This one's going to be crazy, guys. Make sure to comment down below your opinions on this video, because of course, they disable most of their videos comment section, so nobody's allowed to freely and openly talk about what they think of their videos and actually give them feedback. This one's going to be insane. We have an 8-minute long video. I don't even know what to expect here. We all know the housing crisis in Ireland is insane. We have people in this country that will probably never own a home. Most of the homes are owned by nepo babies, kids that have massive nepotism with their families and parents are super rich. I for one wasn't brought up like that. Unfortunately, to own a home is a massive luxury. I saw a new report coming out that said 7 in 10 young people under 30 still live at home, and the other 3, in my personal opinion, just live in a house with 3 or 4 other men. Okay, living in a house with 5 men is not the same as owning your own property. Renting out a house with 5 other men, you might as well just be living at home, not paying rent. I just think it's just an insane scenario and setup that we live here in Ireland. But let's hear what they have to say about it, guys.
Let's turn back to that new CSO study that found 7 in 10 young people are living at home at 25. We're joined by Carl Dieter, CEO of onlineapplication.com, and Rory Hearn, as Social Democrats TD for Dublin North West, and author of GAP.
The Social Democrats, please no more BS.
Why no one can get a house. Carl, to you first. What do you make of this finding?
Seems pretty expected. It's young people usually don't have the means to buy a house. They're staying in education longer. They're using gap years, traveling, doing a lot of things that you would say to yourself, that's very few people do own a house at 25. And I think...
Hold on, let's hold it right there. Okay, he's making excuses for who here? He's kind of being a bit of a dick, because basically he's saying that, oh yeah, young people, we're enjoying life too much. We're traveling, we're drinking, partying on the weekend, we're not having enough time working. Okay, we're doing vices, we're staying in education longer. Like, these things that are basically putting the onus back on us, guys. They're saying that because we don't work hard enough, we don't have professional jobs, like college degree and professional jobs, that's why we're not able to own houses. What a ludicrous statement. This is the dumbest thing ever. The reason why we're not able to own homes, okay, is because A, they're not building enough. B, people, are just pouring into the country, flooding the country. Millions of, undocumented illegal people coming in, hundreds of thousands. We don't know where they're coming from. India. It could be from flipping terrorist places. God knows who's coming from where, okay? And then they're saying, okay, well, we have to house these people before we house the Irish homeless, which you could house 15,000 Irish homeless people within a month. I'm listening to Conor McGregor talking about, he said he would cure Irish homelessness in overnight. Guys, if I was in power, the Taoiseach or in the Dáil, I would put things in place. We could have 15,000 people off the street tomorrow, within a week at least. Literally, you could do it overnight, guys. Okay, they have 40,000 people coming from different countries to pick grapes and strawberries, that aren't even from Ireland, from Morocco, from Spain, these places, and they house them. How the hell are they not able to house homeless people and 25-year-olds? It just seems ridiculous.
You would say to yourself, that's very few people do own a house at 25. And I think that's been the historic norm. So it doesn't strike me as some big, profound piece of gotcha news, certainly.
Okay, Rory Hearn, it's not a gotcha moment?
I completely disagree. These figures show this is a generation that's completely defined by the housing crisis. They are a locked out generation. The social contract has been completely shattered for them. I think we failed these young people as a country. Housing policy by successive governments has focused on the banks, on vulture funds, instead of these young people. And Carl is completely wrong to say that this is usual, this is the norm.
Dude, what's up with that guy? Is he okay right there? Why is his face twitching like that?
Has focused on the banks, on vulture funds, instead of these young people. And Carl is completely wrong to say that
Is he okay? I'm not even trying to make fun of him. But the Social Democrat guy is correct, okay? Shout out to the Social Democrats. I'm only joking. Not shout out to them. We do not like the people before profit or Social Democrats over in County Gaines, lads. We do not like them at all. They're completely, socialist, left wing. But people don't understand that the left wing and the right wing eventually meet. A lot of people don't understand, and that sort of political sort of compass, the left and the right actually meet. Okay, when they get as far right and as far left as possible.
This is usual. This is the norm. Just a decade ago, 10 years ago, only 36% of 25 to 29-year-olds were still living at home in this country. And these figures show that now 70% of our young adults are still living at home. It's having devastating economic impacts. It's having huge mental... Sorry, just to finish it.
No. Sorry, we got your point. I'm going to bring Carl back in. We got your point. So you heard what Rory had to say there. Twice as many percentage-wise living at home as 10 years ago.
Carl, you're completely wrong. Rory, you've become even more insufferable since you became a TD. Congratulations, by the way. So look...
Bro, this guy, Twitchy, is a dick. What a dickhead. Like, no, the Social Democrat guy is correct. Even though I don't like the guy, he's correct. The numbers are doubled from 10 years ago. Like, lads, if you don't think that, you're an idiot. In Ireland, everybody my age, under 30, nobody has houses. I mean, I don't know. I know one guy. I'll be anecdotal. I live in Galway my whole life, okay? West of Ireland, okay? I know one lad that owns a house. That isn't renting. I'm talking about owning your own property. Not renting with 5 other men. That doesn't count. I know one guy that owns his house. I think he worked security since he left secondary school with me. He worked security for 10 years and then was able to put a down payment on a house, and now he has like a 30-year mortgage, some bullshit like that. But like, which is good, but who wants a 35-year mortgage? I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Let's just be clear. Like, take 1990, 35 years ago. What was the average age of a first-time buyer? It was age 35. What is the average age of a first-time buyer today? Age 35. So if you look at the number of people that were going into tertiary education nowadays versus back then, if you look at, for instance, the age that people were reaching life milestones in the past, it was happening at younger ages.
What?
Age of a first child, 1970 to 1990, was fairly consistent around age 25. Age of first child nowadays for women is closer to 35. So what you're seeing is just it's a change, and people are doing more with their life before they decide to spend a huge amount of money on a house.
Okay, how about that, Rory?
This guy is a complete asshole. Okay, so what he's trying to say is, and this is why words are powerful, and a lot of people watching NEWSTALK are brainwashed. They don't understand. Words are powerful. This guy's saying, oh, well, a lot of people are enjoying their life. They're not like pushing on with their life. That's why they're not able to buy a house, because you're in education longer. You're traveling. You're not really focusing. You're not working hard. Like the majority of people under 30 work super hard. They work 5 days a week. They have a college degree. Like a lot of people, or they work on the farm. They work in a business with their family. People work super hard. I've never met a more hardworking people than the Irish. I don't know, like I've met the Italians, I've met the Spanish. Lazy people, guys. I'm just be honest, Australians, lazy as hell. I'm not saying the entire nation, but the sort of culture is super lazy. Irish people, we have that sort of American, we work hard as hell. We have that American sort of working our asses off attitude. We do. Yeah, we like to party and drink on the weekend, but we work so hard. This guy is a complete asshole, bro. Like, what the hell is he talking about, dude? Hold on.
Rory?
I think that when we look at what's happening, young people cannot start their lives because they are stuck at home. Part of the reason why the age at which people are having children, the age at which they're getting married, is getting older and older. The age of which they're getting their home is partly because of the housing crisis, because cost of living. It's not just about social choices.
True.
The majority of these young people who are stuck living at home are not choosing to be at home. They're home because of financial reasons.
Facts.
And again,
dude, I work. I'm gonna say I'm a top 1% worker. I work like 12 hours a day, sometimes 15 hours a day. I work my ass off, guys. Like, I don't stop working on this YouTube, on my personal training, on my other side businesses that I don't want to, publicly announce on YouTube. But I have a few other businesses, including, whatever, guys, public, all legal. Okay, I work very hard in these professions, and I still live at home, guys. Okay, I have a studio at my friend's place. Okay, I can kind of go there, record. I have a studio. Okay, but that's about as far as it goes. I only got that studio last year. Like, to be able to afford a home is serious undertaking. You have to be able to afford €130,000 combined salary in Ireland. It's a complete joke.
I wanted to make the point. The mental health impact of this is huge. We are now at 1 in 4 of young people have been either diagnosed with depression or anxiety. Like, these figures are really
Okay,
dramatic. And I
All right,
think,
let Carl come back in.
connected.
No, let Carl come back in.
People having a sense of hope.
We have to look at this.
Yeah, I love it, guys. I actually, as much as people on my channel hate the left wing and stuff, it's not the left wing per se. It's these sort of boomers, these sort of like, weirdo sort of, apart from all the social stuff, the blue-haired people. I'm not talking about those people. We're talking about economically. A lot of left-wing people are pretty much aligned with the right wing on economics. Okay, when it comes to social issues, absolutely not, guys. Okay, we're not aligned whatsoever. But when it comes to economic issues, oh yeah, big time. I agree that a lot of the left stuff, as much as people will want to hate, I know you guys will agree, it's because of this, guys. It's not because you don't work hard enough or you don't do this. It's because of the economics of the country isn't doing amazing right now. Even if you have a good, professional job, let's say quote unquote professional, post-Fordist job, yeah, whatever you guys want to call it, you're still not going to be up there like really high standard of living. It doesn't happen in Ireland, for me, that I see.
First of all, the idea of nuclear families, I think it's a wonderful thing. People living together, supporting one another, it's great.
What is he?
And if you ask any 25-year-old, you want to live at home, of course they're going to say no. Equally, if you ask any 16-year-old, is your dad an idiot? They're all going to say yeah. So, wanting to live outside of the home and having the means to do it, just because you want something doesn't make it happen. And I think it's important to look at Ireland from a European perspective, because I'm sure Rory would point out like, oh, it's way better in this country, that country. It's actually not. Okay, so let's just be clear. If you look at countries where people, in Ireland, if it's kind of 33 to 35 is the average age buying a home, it's way higher in Spain, Italy, Germany, Sweden, Switzerland, Portugal, Greece. And we're on par with kind of, Spain, Austria, Norway. Some of the countries it's slightly lower. You'd see it in Finland, you'd see it in Belgium.
Okay.
But we're not some kind of statistical aberration.
Rory, how about that? We're not out of sync with the rest of Europe?
No, Carl again is wrong. Unfortunately, because if you look
wrong,
at the figures,
good man.
No, just on this one, on
all of it. You said it was wrong every time you opened your mouth. To be fair,
let Rory speak, Carl. Let Rory speak.
Hang on, the figures around this, because you see, it's not just about young people moving out to buy a home. They in particular can't move out because they can't find anywhere to rent affordably, and this is where
exactly. This guy's right on the button. But he doesn't want to say it because he's not right. Okay, he's on the left. But people can't afford any homes to buy that are affordable. Okay, the average price of homes in Dublin is like 1,200 a month, 1,000 a month. That's crazy. In the West, it's a little bit cheaper. But also, guys, there's no houses. They're not building any houses. Like I said, people are coming in. Nobody knows who they are. It's just like there's a shitload of illegals. It's like crazy. Ireland is like a free-for-all. It's a free-for-all. A passport used to mean something in this country. Like if you have a passport in like the Middle East or some other great country, like from Dubai, or if you guys live in one of these, countries, they put you on a preferential list. Okay, you get preference over this guy that just came here yesterday. Okay, if you have an Irish citizenship, you come first. Unfortunately, for the people outside, that's why you guys earn a citizenship. That's why you emigrate. That's why you want to do these things, right? So a passport will mean something. I don't know. I don't understand the people that like don't. I would love, if I was in charge in Ireland, I'd say anyone with an Irish passport gets preferential treatment for housing over people from the outside. 100%, 1,000%, guys. From anyone that doesn't have a passport, right? It has to be like that.
Gap in Ireland is growing from other European countries. In, for example, Finland, Sweden, at age 25 to 29, just 5% of young people are still living at home because they can find somewhere to rent. This has been the big change in Ireland. Before, people were able to find somewhere to rent before they bought. Now young people can't.
See, the problem is we're talking about finding places to rent. Okay, is living with 5 other men in a house good? I would say no, guys. No woman, let's just say for your mental health, if you guys are a straight man, let's say you want to date a woman, okay, you want to have a girlfriend, she's not going to want to live and come over to your house if there's 4 or 5 other men in the house at all times. That's insane. You want to have your own private space, your own house, your own, let's say, house, so your girlfriend can come over, you can start a family there together. How the hell are you supposed to start a family if you don't have a house? You understand? You can't have kids running around the house and there's 4 other random strange men in the house. Okay? Ridiculous. It's not about moving out and moving in with 4 other men. That's not how you should be living life. You should be moving out and moving into your own space,
find somewhere
Okay,
affordably to rent.
how about
And
that,
it is
Carl?
having economic
Rory, we
impacts
have
as
that
well.
point. How about that, Carl? Like, yeah, fine. People are going to college later, having kids later, so they might buy a home later, but they can't rent a house.
Okay, well, I mean, if you pick enough holes in any argument, you'll find something that's not perfect. Okay, so we're not perfect.
This guy is an idiot. I know I called him an asshole like 3 times. This guy is intellectually dishonest. He's just doing this. He doesn't believe this really. He's just doing this probably for his party or whatever. I don't know what his motive is.
We're just like the rest of the world. They have problems too. Equally, if you look at some
the rest of the Western world, guys, like the UK, Canada, the USA, they don't have a housing crisis. They don't have it like us, guys. I'll be honest with you. I was in Canada. Everyone had their own homes. America, I was there. Everyone has their own house. They may not be amazing houses. They're houses that are made out of sheet wood, plywood and flipping cardboard basically. But at least they have a place to stay in. Same in the UK. There's housing, loads of housing. Ireland is just a complete joke, guys. We haven't built houses, and then there's thousands of people coming in. It's just ridiculous, man. Free for all. This country is literally a free for all. A free for all welfare state is where we live now.
of these countries, their access to housing, their ability to afford a house doesn't happen until their mid-30s as well. And I think that's really one of the main acid tests. The other thing I would say is, though, there's also cultural elements at play. It was very common in the past for certain cultures for people to live at home until they bought a home, whereas in other cultures it's common to move out and be kind of more independent earlier. You would see that in Nordic countries. But then you've got countries like Italy, Spain, Ireland to an extent, where staying at home is far more common and we have a more cohesive nuclear family situation. Some of these things are cultural. If you look at what the actual study is telling us, though, people say, I didn't want to move out for financial reasons, but that's undefined. That could mean anything. If you look at it financially, though, a lot of the people who are being covered at age 25, vast majority of them are working.
Okay.
But they're earning sums of money that you couldn't afford to buy a house with during the crisis even,
Yeah, again, this guy is full of shite, guys. I would say culturally, I don't know what you all think watching this, but I would say culturally, we're way more individualistic like the US, like Canada, okay? We are not in kind of this sort of nuclear family thing like in Italy and Spain. Now I am, okay, because I'm half European, okay? I'm half Eastern European. My dad's Irish, right? My dad's from flipping Galway, right? But I would say as a people, okay, the women in Spain, Italy, they like coming over to your house. Hey, big family, siesta and whatever, guys. They like hanging out as a family, right? In Ireland, we have the same sort of idea. We have the same brain, in my opinion, the women, the men of Ireland, as the US model. We want to have our own space, our own house, and you're seen as a loser if you live at home, guys. Let's just call it how it is. And how the hell is that going to affect your mental health? Now, obviously, guys, I don't give a shit, bro. I do what I want. But for the majority of guys, man, they're going to be mentally, disparaged when it comes to dating, getting with women, starting a family, which is the core of life. The core of life is to start a nice family, have a family unit, but we're not like Spain and Italy. We're not like that, guys. Eastern Europe, where they're all very, very family oriented. We're very family oriented, but it's a difference. It's more of individualistic. You have your own family and stuff. It's not where like everybody comes together and that kind of thing. Okay, to a point we have that, but I would say Ireland, we're not the same as Italy, Spain, France, Eastern Europe. I don't think we're like that at all. I don't think it at all, guys. Same in the Middle East as well. All the families, in India, the grandparents and the grandkids, they all live in the house together, right? Everyone lives together, right? It's not the same, guys. We have the same mental as the US.
No matter what house prices were, they couldn't have bought. And the whole thing about affordability, if you look at when housing was ultimately affordable back in 2010 when the IMF was here, you didn't have the average age coming down. The average age actually stayed somewhat stagnant.
Okay,
what I'm saying is some of this it's not the catastrophe that it gets played out to be.
Okay, Rory.
Oh my God, this guy is so not deep thinking and so slow. It's unbelievable. I wouldn't even be able to have a conversation with this guy. Literally, I don't know what his issue is or what his agenda is, but he's not correct. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
No, it is. This, like young people, as I said at the start, their lives have been defined by housing failure.
Fact.
This is a shattering of their dreams.
Fact.
They want to have a home, get a home of their own to rent or buy. They've been locked out of that. We're failing them as a country, and it is having huge mental health impacts and economic impacts.
Fact.
For example, teachers in Dublin, the schools can't get teachers in Dublin, can't find therapists, can't find psychologists. In part of it is because of the housing crisis. Young people around the country who are qualified can't afford to move into Dublin or Cork or Limerick or live in the cities or actually anywhere, there's a huge reduction in mobility, which is having an impact on our
Carl,
public services
isn't that an issue?
and our workplaces being able to
hard to
employ
get
people.
public servants in
Look,
Dublin.
I'm massively pro-housing. I'm massively against people who object to housing. I think Rory probably knows a little bit about that. He can tell you himself. I just think that we should be really pro-housing. Look, I'm all in
What do
favour
you
of
mean
it.
by that?
That we should be pro-housing?
No, but
About Rory, tell you a little about that. I think there's a few developments that he's probably had negative observations about in the past, but I'm
Rory,
confident he'll be able to
I
explain
have
that.
to give you the right to respond to that.
Absolutely. I have opposed the build to rent institutional investment developments, and that's in the public domain, and absolutely would stand over making that, because the type of developments that
We
we
need more
build
houses, but not
really matter.
only a certain type that
not
he wants.
really expensive ones that these young people can't afford and have shown haven't worked in terms of providing homes for people. We need to build genuinely affordable homes for these young people across the country, where they can actually live independent lives, do and live the dreams and fulfill and do the things they want to do. Currently,
Rory,
this
we'll
is a
leave it there.
generation
Some
locked
great
out of that.
proselytizing there. You'll definitely get re-elected.
Rory Hearn.
I mean, hey, I'm not saying I like that Rory guy because he's left wing, of course, on social issues, but definitely this Carl Dieter guy came off as an idiot, guys. I mean, that's just one of the worst segments I've ever heard. Like, completely stupid. He was wrong about the culture of Ireland. He was wrong about the housing. He's wrong about everything, guys. I mean, just completely ridiculous. I'm not left wing, guys. I'm definitely more on the right, but unreal. I mean, how ridiculous and stupid could you think that not having proper housing is bad for your mental health and bad for people just in general, not being able to start a family? It's just ridiculous, guys. It's absolutely ridiculous. The average house price now is $335,000. In Dublin, it's like $600,000. So good luck to everybody in Dublin. Unless you want to be renting for 4 or 5 years, or with 4 or 5 other men. It's not an ideal situation. Okay, they need to build more houses. They need to build more affordable houses, like your man said. I'm not sure exactly what he means by affordable houses there, because I wouldn't be for affordable houses that are all electric, for instance, because we saw what happened during Storm Owen, okay, where all the houses lost electricity, and then you're in the soup, okay, you're in the shit, guys, right? You can't do anything. But a normal house with a stove fire, wood, turf fire, and just a regular home would be amazing. Okay, and trying to make them affordable, I think they should start taking over that US Canadian model where they just build houses kind of quick. We don't really seem to have crazy storms here, but just a regular home would be great to see, guys, okay? And more homes for people. This is just completely just insane that this guy would say that the 25-year-olds should adjust their housing expectations. I think it's preventing young people from starting on their life sooner. Maybe they want to have kids, whatever the case may be, to help grow the population again, because we're populists. They're globalists, you understand? All right, I love you guys all. I can't do it without you, so make sure to like, comment, subscribe, become a member of the channel, guys. Buy some merch. I was wearing the merch in the last few videos. County Gains gang, I have the Irish flag on them as well. Of course, check out my Patreon as well. I have like 200 blocked videos over on Patreon. I love you all. Stay free, and I'll see you all tomorrow, my loyal patriots.